Hello and welcome, everyone. My name is Bart, and together with me here is Kuba, known as Cooper.
Hello, everyone.
And we're excited to provide you today with a session on how to collaborate better with Explain Everything. And this is a live Q&A session. So we're going to try at least to answer all of your questions related to cooperative learning, collaborative use of Explain Everything. And thank you for questions that you provided us so far. We're going to dive into those soon after we kind of like walk you through the scenario of what collaboration is in Explain Everything.
Right. So, a couple of housekeeping items. Feel free to use chat and Q&A section of Zoom, so we can get your questions and then answer them. Some of them will answer live, and some of them will direct you to resources that will help you answer the questions you might have. And right, and this session is also recorded, so you'll receive a link with the recording after it's been published. So we are also live on YouTube as well, so you will also be able to, for those of you who are watching us on YouTube, welcome, and you can also ask questions there. So we'll be happy to answer them all. And yeah, later on the session will be available on our webinars page, where you will be able to review it and see it again if you want to get back to some of the stuff we went through. You're gonna go through. So yeah, thank you for joining, and let's start.
Some of you already attended our previous webinars, so you might already know that those sessions that we provide are always live. And by this, well, things might go sometimes wrong, right? But it's authentic, it's real. We're here to answer your questions. But hey, like it's like in a classroom. It's a technology that, sometimes you need to troubleshoot around some things. So if that happens, yeah, just feel how it is for us as well. We just need to work those things out. But we do this to make your life easier in the classroom. So why don't we begin by introducing concept of collaboration to you. I'm actually currently sharing my screen, so you see my whiteboard with some materials that we go through. But for now, I'll just leave to the project screen. I'll show you how to begin collaborative whiteboarding. Because, if you use Explain Everything on a tablet, like this one, I'm using iPad. You can use Chromebook, for example, as well, or use Explain Everything in a browser on computer. It sort of works the same way. You need to create a space for those that join you to collaborate, right? So you can work with them in one virtual space. And this space is created in our cloud. It's called Explain Everything Drive. So when you're on a tablet and you start project with this button new here, I lost vision. It's back now. God, technology. And when you create project with this button new here, that means you're creating a local project on your device. But if you want to collaborate with others, what you need to do is to create space in the cloud. And for this button, invite here, is supplied for you. So I'll tap invite. And I'll use, let's say I want just to start with a blank canvas. What this does is that it opens space in the cloud and provides you, well, information. Do you want to use your microphone or not? Let's say I'll mute my microphone. You hear me through Zoom, so I don't need that. And that's actually the first screen that you see when you open this collaborative whiteboard of ours. And in the top right, you have kind of like a pop-up window that starts from the code. You see the code, B, K, J, all of that. That's the connection code. I'll show you in a second how to use that. But it basically opens up with three scenarios, let's call them that way. By default, you begin collaboration having an open collaboration scenario here. But you can change this to presentation. And we'll show you the difference between those two scenarios. Open collaboration, in a nutshell, is everyone can do whatever they want on a canvas. Presentation is more like a staged presentation where you walk everyone through the contents of your whiteboard. So once you decide on the scenario you want to use, you just step outside of this window and you can create content, add slides to the whiteboard. This space can be accessed by others with the code that you see here, right? So we can share the code as I can do here by sharing it through email, for example. Again, how to do that. I open this window here, and here you have invite link, right? That's me here listed as a host. And I have invite link. This is a link that you can share with your students, with your coworkers, participants of the collaborative session, so they can join you on the whiteboard and they will see exactly what I see on the canvas. So that's how you start your collaboration. We actually have a project ready to show you around, and that's why I'll quit this project and we'll open the one that we already prepared to walk you through the scenarios. I'll pause here. As you see, I joined the project. I'll pause here to ask Cooper, is that a good explanation? Do we have any questions related to opening this cloud space for collaboration?
No, not yet. So these are the basics. These are the basics of starting the collaboration. So to recap, Bart can move a little down to recap this whole process. So yeah, this invite button, if you are on the web version of Explain Everything, might already have the code if you are online, or if you're starting from the cloud. Then you see the
this window here,
this, yes, this mobile. So you just press start at this point.
Well, that's crucial, right?
Yeah. For advanced explainers, they can already set up their collaboration in a more refined manner here. But today we're going to focus just on basics. And later on, you pick scenario. That's the third step.
So that's the step here. Yes.
Yeah.
I see that you like black interfaces, right?
Oh yeah, dark mode is great on my iPad.
That's why it looks different than on my iPhone.
And then you can select collaboration in the upper left-hand corner to get back to the collaboration menu,
So
where you
that's
can.
here, right?
Yeah, and here on the other in the other menu, the collaboration menu, you can select share in order to share the link via any means available for you.
And that's the connection link, right?
Right. Currently, our session is private. That means that only Bart, another user, and me and I are connected to this particular project.
To this one, right?
To this one, yeah, to the one with the code. As you can see, there are 3 explainers in the project right now. But if you see if you look at access permissions on the bottom, there's only specified people here, right? So that's why you are not able to join into our session right now. But depending on how we're going to expand this whole session, depending on your questions, we may open this up for you. So
yeah, exactly.
A couple of things to remember. Collaboration and Explain Everything is designed for smaller groups. There's a hard limit up to 25 participants at the moment. We are developing our platform so that more people are able to join in, but for now, what you need to remember is that 25 people is the limit, and this is because Explain Everything works in a way that sends all the data between devices. That's why we need to optimize the load on the device and on your network, and that's why the limit comes in.
The scalability of collaborative solutions is easier when you just broadcast on a screen, pixel by pixel. Here we're exchanging changes coming from each participant. So this is not like just viewing others' video feeds, but rather working on the set of materials that is on the canvas. And that's why we're scaling it slowly up. Now the limit is 20 participants. But it's great for, let's say, group work or cooperative learning situation where you have a few students or a few of your colleagues trying to develop or think something through on the canvas. And that's what it is designed for.
Right, right. But you can overcome this limitation. If you are a teacher or a person that uses other conferencing solutions, you can as well share your screen in that conferencing solution. And
so that's the scenario, right?
Right, that's the interactive
That's the
broadcast.
interactive broadcast. So in order to overcome, let me just
yeah, I'm just looking at this screen because
too many screens, technology all around.
For folks on YouTube that cannot see our camera right now, yeah, we just have the setup that just requires me to just turn my head in outside the camera. So no worries.
You can see also here your participant of the session.
Yeah, I can look at my iPad. That's great.
So just to rephrase what you said, in order to overcome the limit of participants, if you have a scenario where you kind of like present your whiteboard and you don't need 30 students to work on the whiteboard canvas with you, what you can do is that you can broadcast explain everything. And that's actually one of the questions. Broadcast explain everything through Zoom, Skype, whatever you use. Now, for this session, we broadcast through Zoom to YouTube. And that's actually how we do it. We use interactive broadcast to trigger explain everything in a mode that it can, like, you can replicate the content of your screen through the conferencing solution, because that's basically what it is.
Yes, exactly. You're sharing your device screen to a conferencing solution like Zoom, Meet, or Teams, right? That's how many teachers are actually using it live.
It's a very popular scenario because these days teaching remotely requires to substitute physical flip chart or chalkboard with a digital means. So this is the perfect solution for that. And you can think about collaborative options of explain everything working in tandem with this broadcast. So that's actually what we do here. We're broadcasting content of my screen to you, but at the same time, we have 3 participants of this session. So for example, if I ask Kuba to provide some input on this screen, hands off, if you could like,
sure,
do some annotation or show us something. Which scenario, for example, you like the most?
Yeah.
So hands off, I'm not touching anything, I'll just, my favorite, and that's input coming from Cooper, right? That's what he's writing just here.
I'm gonna move it here. Where is that?
And I again lost the visuals here.
That's okay. I think it's all right.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. Hopefully it's. Yeah. There we go. I think we lost the preview, but we can see almost everything on the. You'll have problems probably with that. So continue and I'll take care of it.
Thank you. So that's broadcasting. Before we turn into Q&A, what I'd love to show you is what is the difference between those 2 scenarios that you see here, open collaboration and presentation. Because with explain everything, there's an ocean of possibilities of how you drive your session. You can either do it in a way that it is a controlled experience. So it's you guiding students or participants of the session around the canvas, or on the other end of the spectrum, it is a kind of like a musical jam situation where you give a lot of freedom to participants of the session so they can look at other parts of the canvas, at materials they have on their devices, work together or something, change slides independently from what you as a host is doing on the canvas. And that creates a lot of possibilities. You can either choose open collaboration, that's the analogy of, let's say, jazz session, musical jam, or presentation, which is more like an orchestrated experience where you guide others like you would guide an orchestra.
All right.
So in order to explain that, the best thing to do is to show you not one iPad, but many, and we are prepared for that. So I'm going, and thank you for helping fixing my screen here, Cooper.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I hope that's visible what I'm sharing now. That's the screen showing you 3 participants at once. Is it visible?
Yes.
Okay, so bear with me. On the left side, you have my iPad. That's the biggest screen you see now. On the right side, you have 2 participants that are connected to the session. Top right, this is actually a browser. I'm using Chrome here. So that's a web participant. Let's call it that way. Not using any mobile device, but just browser on the computer. And here, I also have Cooper's iPad. That's yours, right? If you could like move something, okay. And Cooper is also a participant to this session. So by having this setup here, we can show you what kind of facilitation options you have during such a session. And we can begin by showing you, I'll change the scenario. Now you see we are in this open collaboration scenario. What it means that since I do have my tools here on the left, right? I do have my tools. So others. So the others, they do have their tools. So we can, let's say, work on the canvas together. And Cooper, if you could take like a blue pen, for example.
Sure. Oh, you could turn on the task suggestions meanwhile.
Oh, yeah, I can do that. So hold on before you add anything, taps and gestures. I'll do this so you can see what I'm tapping on my screen. That's a kind of like a visual aid. We have a solution. Where is it? Okay, here it is. Okay, now you see my taps. Okay. So Cooper, I'm doing this, I'm drawing in red, right? If you could provide something in blue. So you see, we can work on the same canvas together, independently operating our tools here, but we can work together. And this is permitted because we're in this open collaboration scenario, right? But let's say I want to restrict experience for Cooper and other participants by locking this possibility. So they can only watch me going through a set of materials that I have on a canvas without adding anything to it, without changing position of those objects. And to do that, all I need to do is to go here again and change the scenario that you see here. This is open collaboration now. We'll change this to presentation. So look what happened on the right side of the screen that we're sharing. Both participants lost their tools for editing, right? They do have just one, which is zoom and scale. So if I'm a participant, let's say I'll use my computer here, and I want to move around, I can still use this zoom tool, but you see, it is designed in a way that I can kind of like peek outside of the provided perspective, outside of the provided area where host is leading me to. Let's say I'll zoom into this picture here. So everyone will follow. I'm presenter, so they ought to. And I can kind of like try to move outside, but I'm forced to come back. And it's the same with Cooper, as you see on his demonstration. He's speaking outside of this view of mine, but he's not able to break free.
Unless I hold it, but it's not very
yeah.
comfortable to do that.
It's kind of like a rubbery feeling to it, right? You're not 100% restricted. You can peek outside, but that's all you can do.
Right.
That's the presentation. Well, I mentioned at the beginning there's an ocean of possibilities. So let me just show you one possibility that you can think of when structuring your session. So for example, let's say I still want to do this guided presentation to walk everyone around the canvas, showing them different things like here, the invite pop-up, but I want to allow them to break free. So they're free to roam around. How I do that? All I need to do is to go to scenario again. And here you see the button customize. I can change those default options as I want. So I'll use customize to allow others to break free. And for this, you have this collaboration rules here. And in those collaboration rules, now what is triggered on is the option to always follow the host. If I don't want to force that upon participants, all I need to do is to disable this. So that's what I did as a host. So now everyone still follows me, as you see. But if Cooper wants to break free, he can do that after he finishes his response.
Right. So I can just, so here's my Zoom in the bottom left-hand corner, and I have it selected. Right now I can just use the Zoom and select unfollow. So this way I'm now free to do and explore. Well, not do really, but because I don't have any tools on this side, I'll
Not
turn on my
yet.
tabs and gesture too.
Not yet. But you can at least, break free and roam around the canvas, right?
Right. I can double tap to zoom in, double tap to get back.
Yeah.
And say I want to learn more about this particular part of the menu. I can double tap that or double click if you're on the web version, and move around just like that. So this way, the contents. So we like to think of this like a combination of settings as a lecture, because this way your students won't have to, or people in your collaboration won't have to follow you at all times, and will be able to explore what you've prepared for them without disturbing the contents of your project.
Yeah. So sometimes it is useful to allow for that. When, for example, you have learners that they take content at their speed, and you want to allow them to do this. And from the perspective of presenter, you can still kind of like have an idea who's following you and who's not following you. So for example, if I open this, and here you get another problem.
Yeah,
if I open,
it's all good on the on the screen. So.
If I open this pop-up here, I can see all of my participants, right? And if you could follow me, so we can see the difference.
So if I want to say right now I'm roaming free, right? So
okay,
I can do whatever I want to move to whenever part, but I can always get back to Bart, and I can do that by selecting his avatar here on the top, and it will display a menu where I can select follow, and this will take me to where Bart is, and you'll see this frame that it's in the color of his avatar frame. So this way I know that I'm following him right now.
Oh yeah, so it is indicated by the frame that you see around your screen. And for me, as a presenter, I can say that he's following me because there's this information under my name that I'm followed by Cooper, right? So there are two participants, but I'm followed by one of them. What I can do as a presenter is I can force others to follow me as well. So by this indicator here, I know that there's one participant that follows me, so I can make this second participant of mine make follow me. So that's the option I need to do, right? So now you can see that there's a change. Now you can clearly tell that everyone follows me in this scenario. So if I move around, there you go. Everyone follows me as a presenter.
All right. So there are a couple of questions already.
So let's answer them.
So we went through the basics of managing collaborations, setting up scenarios, and so on. And right now we'll be happy to answer some of your questions. And the first one, so the first question is, do we have to connect through Zoom with others, or we connect directly from here and no need for Zoom link or anything else? So we'll be happy to to go through that scenario with you. Essentially, these are two different ways of using explain everything. If your group is big, like over 30 people, or you need Zoom because your school that's your school's picked conferencing solutions for live lessons, then you can simply share your explain everything screen, your web browser, or your iPad screen or Chromebook screen, whatever, and use Zoom anyway. But if you want to use explain everything alone, you can do that as well. So here's how you do it. I think we can go through the scenario. You can just use single, or we don't even have to use a single iPad. We can keep this view. So what we want to do is we want to go back to, let's start fresh, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. So here we start a new project. On the web version is a little bit different, but you will see the new project.
You mean new local project?
Yeah, new local project.
Okay, so that's the button new, right? Yeah. And I'll start with blank canvas.
Right.
Maybe I'll change the color to, let's say, this one. Okay. What next?
And now, since we want to start collaborating, we're going to press invite again.
That's new collaboration. All right, let's change the name. So invite. Yep.
Right. We're not gonna focus on since this is gonna be a nice segue to the other question. So we're gonna just press start here, just as we did before.
So that's the button here. Okay, yeah. Start.
So right now the local project is uploaded to the cloud. We're starting it again, and
here we go.
Yeah, we're gonna join with the muted microphone so that we don't disturb anyone. So let's keep it like open collaboration. Sorry.
Okay.
Select back. But okay, that's the same menu. If you're in the scenarios, we select collaboration from the top left-hand corner of the menu, and we go back to the collaboration menu.
Yep.
And here, simply press share. And you can select one of the local iPads around you, say mine.
Okay. So that's iPad 3.
I think so.
Yours? Let's try.
Let's try. Maybe that's the one. And
so
now
you see
that I've received the link via AirDrop. You can share it any way you want. And I'll press accept, and it will move me towards Parks project, and I'll press edit.
And I'll prepare a warm welcome for you. Welcome.
Right, and here we are. So this didn't require Zoom. This didn't require any other software. You can use the link in a web browser. You can use the link on an iPad, on a Chromebook, on Android device, and it will guide you towards this project. And since we made it open, that means anyone can join. So right now, I wasn't invited by my name, by my email. I was invited just by using the link, just as you did with the Zoom registration in this webinar. Well, it works the same way. You get a Zoom invitation, you join in, and there you are. It works the same way. So that makes it an open project. So that means anyone with the link can join in and can work with us. So I think we can share that link with, okay, we're not going to disturb this one, but
why not?
Because there's another question.
But hold on, let us show you how to connect to this project using browser, right? So for those users that are not using iPads, let's say Chromebooks, and you can just share this code through any communicator of your choice, and then ask students, let's say, or those that you want to bring into the canvas, just to go to explaineverything.com and use this field, enter code, to put in the connection code. And I'll just provide this code here. And you'll see that by this, you can easily this space.
Right. And it doesn't require any additional software. If you unmute you'll be able to talk with each other. So
Exactly.
that's how you do it. Right. And okay, so and the next question is,
Mhm.
where is it here? Can you move a collaborative whiteboard back to a private whiteboard?
Very good question.
Yep.
Excellent one. And the answer is yes, you can.
Yes, you can. So as you've seen, we've set it up so that's to say that this project is an open project, so anyone with a link can join, right? So this way, it's not public project because no one can find it. You know, there's no catalog where you can join project. But if you have a link or the code, you can join it. So we want to make it private right now so that no one has access besides us, right?
Well,
We said why.
we can make it in two steps. So first, you can make it private, but still have this project in the cloud, let's say as a backup, right?
Right, I think that's the question.
Okay,
Essentially. Yeah,
because there's another way. You can download this project to your local storage of your device.
right. So we'll go through through those two scenarios because you can maintain the like say you can maintain the cloud project, right? You can still keep it in the cloud, but you can make a local version by downloading it back to your device. Although the first scenario involves all platforms, so we'll go through that one. So we can see we were able to see the screen, so no worries.
Okay. I'll just fix it on my end. So for this situation where we want to take project private, let's do it in a way that I'll share my screen again. Okay.
Yeah, it's all good.
All right. So in order to do that, but now you see like, 3 participants. Once I take this project, as I'll change this project to a private one, well, those 2 participants will disconnect, obviously.
Yep.
That's what we want to show you. So how to do that? All you need to do is to change access permissions, right? To revoke those permissions that we granted by opening this project as a, let's say, open one. You mentioned
Right.
like open one. Right?
So we open the collaboration menu first, and then select access permission to enter the permission menu options, right? So as you can see, Bart has selected anyone with the link can edit.
That's the default.
Right, that's the default. So that means anyone with a link can join in and edit the content of your project. We want to make it private, so we want to select only specified people here.
Okay. I just want to make sure that we remove that from your view. Okay, so only specified people, and see what happens. Those 2 participants of the project, they got immediately disconnected. They were immediately disconnected.
I've received a message that I cannot access this project. If you'd like to gain access, please contact the project owner. So Bart's the project owner. I've lost the access to it, and right now I cannot join. So this project is now private. And I think from this perspective, we can show you how to invite a specific person.
Yeah, let's do this.
Right, so we've disabled, it's no longer available for anyone, but you can still invite specific people.
So now the list is empty. Only specified people means 0. But now we can add, let's say, add Cooper to the list. So even opening this space, and I'll just show you one more time because maybe I went too fast. If you tap here, you can add people here. And even in this window, you can see that this is a private project on your cloud. Only you can access, but I can at any time add, let's say I'll add Cooper. Right.
Yeah. And now to save the changes, we press done.
Okay. So this should allow you to join. If you could try, because I'm checking this on my device and I still cannot join because this is a different user, but you can. And this is the lower right corner of the screen that you're sharing.
So it is no longer an open project as you've...
Oh yeah, this is not an open project, only for me and Cooper. Okay. You're right.
Yeah. So that's how you do it. That's how you make it private. And you can later on make it public and again, so no worries.
Mm-hmm.
So Linda asks, are you able to make collaborative groups within breakout rooms for small groups up to 5? So um, there are no breakout rooms in Explain Everything yet. If you're using Zoom and you have like breakout room groups where you want to those groups to access specific projects, you can do that. Though your students will have to have their own Explain Everything licenses, because you can set up, which answers another question that we have here. You can set up projects for your students on your group account, and this will be your projects, which you will own. And they will be able to join into those projects, those separate groups. Say you want to send them links to those projects or invite them by their emails or usernames. Though Explain Everything works in such way so that guests can only enter projects which that someone has opened for them. So someone has to be in the project. So if you're the owner of the project and they don't have an Explain Everything account, they won't be able to join in your project if you're not in it, right? So that's how it works. You can also set up a single project with separate slides so that they can work on different parts of that slide and communicate on like Zoom in their breakout rooms without disturbing anyone in the project. And that works too. This way, they won't have to have an account, but we'll be working within a single project on separate slides. So that's how you can make it work for you.
Okay, so that's the second possibility, right? Second solution. So just one project with separate slides, right? Each for one group. You can do this, yes. You'll arrive at the limit really quick.
I think we can present that because we haven't shown how slides work.
Okay, we can present that, but just to recap what you said. So in order to have this breakout rooms, which we still don't have, you can create separate projects, and I just illustrated 4 of them. They will come with different codes, so you can share those codes with groups of students, as you mentioned, groups of 5, or you can just invite particular students to those projects. We will simplify this in the future, so it's much easier to share those codes in a group. For now, that's the way you would need to go about this. Students need to have their own account because the limit is that if you're the only registered user, well, for those open sessions, you can ask anyone to join those open sessions. So there's no limit who can access that. Those could be users of Explain Everything, but just guests as well. Using the link, you don't have to register. But if separate project exists, it can only be accessed, opened, so to say, by a registered user.
Right.
And in the second scenario, you just create one project and you divide students into group working on separate slides. And this is what we're going to show you now.
Yep.
So let's say this is a slide for, and we're still on the same project, I presume. Yes, Cooper is with me, but I will open this in Cooper so we can show this on another device as well. So I would change the setting. Anyone with the link can edit. And if you'd like to join, you can do it as well. I mean, this will do no harm. And the connection code, if you'd like to try that, is this, right? So I'll reconnect on my second device. So you see there'll be 3 of us for the purpose of this demonstration. Okay, so you can see we have 3 participants. If more of you will join, we'll have more. But for now, because we have 3 participants, I will just add 2 slides to this presentation, and I'll do this by using this tool here, right? That's the slides order, and here you can add slides. So I'll add 2 slides. One, let it be Blackboard, and 2, I'll change the color of the third one to, let's say, yellow.
Right.
Now I have 3 slides.
I can move to the yellow one and do stuff here.
And on this computer, I can be on the slide number 1, let's say. And here I will choose this one. Okay. So now you have 3 participants working on 3 slides independently. It's still one session, right? That's slide number 2 for you. My web user will be on slide number 1. Okay, so I'm using this code. There's one more of us, Bradley, connected to us. Hi, good to see you. So feel free to go to any of those slides because we're displaying 3 and add something if you'd like. So you can see that this is, yeah, it's as easy as that.
Right. Just remember that if you are the owner or the host of the project, if you make everyone follow you, then you will bring everyone from other slides as well. So yeah. So if awesome. That's not us doing this. This one.
This is fantastic. Thank you, Bradley.
All right, so this also answers the question, can participants continue to work collaboratively with the provided link even after the host exits? So yes, they can.
Yeah.
Yes, they can. The only requirement is that they have their own Explain Everything accounts. This way, they will maintain the session going. So if the owner wants to make it private, then they can turn off. Sorry. Then they can turn off the access to the project. But if they want to keep the access to their students or other people who joined into the project, they can leave it as it is and then exit, and it will still be there, right? And it only works in the open collaboration scenario. So if they have access to open collaboration, otherwise they will not be able to edit the contents of the project.
Cool.
So this is the interesting question. Can I turn off the unfollow action when I swipe down? I always do it by mistake. So in order to unfollow someone, you need to accept the pop-up that comes up, unless you wanna, because it all depends on the scenario that you have. If the scenario is presentation, you won't be able to unfollow. And you can also select the always follow the host toggle so that you won't be able to unfollow at all.
So that's actually what Bradley chose when joining us. This is, you can see by the list here, we have 4 participants. I'm followed by Bradley, Cooper, and those other participants they broke free. They are on other slides. Can I make everyone follow me? This is an open collaboration.
Yes, you can. You just need to customize the scenario.
Cool. Can do this. And I can turn on always follow the house, and it will make everyone follow me. So this is, you can move between those scenarios back and forth. You can change those settings on a fly as it suits your situation, what you want to accomplish.
So actually, Brad had a question, so we can answer it too. If you zoom in while in collaboration mode, not customized, will participants see that zoom in or not, since they are not technically following? So they are technically following as soon as they join in. Everyone who joins the collaboration follows the host by default. So that's how it works. There are some ideas that we have for customizing the scenarios further so that they won't be following. But for now, by default, everyone follows the host when they join in, regardless of the scenario.
Great question.
That hopefully answers your question. If you can use breakout rooms, are you able later to display outcomes from those groups at the end of the breakout session? So the way we would do that, if we went through with the, say, since we have the slide set up, it's going to be easier for us to show it. We would do that by taking over the view from all the participants that are in the project, making them always follow the host, and then just going slide by slide and presenting the contents of those slides or the work of those groups, right? So right now, Bart can select always follow the host. I think you haven't, right?
No. So I can do it now. So I'll do customize, always follow the host, which will make everyone follow me.
Right.
Here you go. Everyone switch to slide number 2. And I can begin with slide number 1, walking everyone through the findings on the slide number 1. We spoke about this and that. Oh, that's actually what we want to see, the results of groups work on each individual slide. I'll go to slide number 2, and you see all participants follow me, so I can guide class through the findings.
Right. So that's how you would do it in this particular situation, right? If you set up your project that has multiple slides and each group works on a single slide, then you can take over their view and make them see what you're seeing. So this way you can present, effectively present their work to everyone. So that's the whole power of the following feature. This is a UI related question, but it's quite interesting. Can you move the toolbar to the right for the left-handed users on tablets? Yes, you can.
You can. In order to do that, you go to settings here.
So three dots.
Top right, 3 dots. You go to settings, and this is how you change the position of the toolbars. Left to right, control bar, bottom or top.
Right. If you move your control bar to the top, you can save a lot of space, right? That's a cool feature.
That's true, but I'll still keep my toolbars on the left.
So we had a question at the beginning, how to share the screen with everyone else. So I think we can like draw like a example how we connect to Zoom. So there's an article. I'll share. I'll show the article from our help center in the chat, so all folks have access to that.
Well, we can also show you. I mean, I'll use browser to show you.
Broadcast.
So that would be broadcast and share your Explain Everything screen in a video conferencing app. Is that it?
Yes, that's it.
Okay, so let's go there. And there you have the basics, differences between platforms, what we support, and how you do.
Right, so because each conferencing solution has its own way of sharing the contents of their screen, right? So we've linked to all those instructions in this article. So even if you don't know the exact instructions, they are in our article, so you can just click them and learn how to use your conferencing solutions there.
And we actually have a YouTube clip that demonstrates how you turn on and off sharing your screen, and for that you can go to, I'll add one more browser. There'll be too much content here, but bear with me. No thanks. Explain everything better online meetings, and I believe that's one of the last. Okay, here, whiteboarding on Zoom, WebEx, Microsoft Teams, and BlueJeans. So if you look at this episode here, I won't play it now, but if you look at this episode here, you'll see the demonstration of all the different options you have when broadcasting your whiteboard through those conferencing solutions.
Right, awesome. I'll link to this one in the chat as well. We'll include this in the email. Which part was that? That was 7. Okay.
So that's the answer for you. I mean, this is pretty cool view. 3 devices like insects view, right?
Yep. Yeah. It's really nice. I think we have to figure out the camera because right now it's it displays only in Zoom. There's this question from Carol.
Yep.
So it's kind of connected to how you use Explain Everything and how you export stuff from Explain Everything, whether it's a project or a video. So the question is, it's not related really to collaboration, but we have some time to answer not collaborated related questions too. I've been making presentations on a blank canvas, inserting a video from the web. When I export the presentation as a video to Google Drive, the inserted web video appears as a screenshot, which cannot be viewed as a video. How do I upload it to Google Drive so the inserted video can be viewed? So there are a couple of questions we have regarding this thing, because the scenario, because it depends on the content of the web video. So the question is from us is it a web browser that you're inserting into the canvas, or is it a video file that you've inserted into the canvas? Because those are two different things. They act differently. But we can show you what happens if you insert both of those types. But for both of these scenarios, if you want to create a video and export a video, you need to record what's happening on your Explain Everything project, because otherwise it won't export as a video. It would export as a static thing.
Okay, this is complicated.
Yeah. Okay, I might be making it too complicated, but the simple thing is so that it's a web browser. Okay, so that makes it a little bit
web browser. Okay.
So
video in a web browser.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So this just as a short answer, this won't work. Okay.
So this is not the way we recommend to do that.
Yeah.
Because when you think what happens in Explain Everything when you display video in the browser is that Explain Everything is limited to capturing frames of the browser.
Right.
Frames of the browser, and this is not a good experience because the frame rate will be too low. Right. So what we suggest to do at all times when using videos is to put them as files, as assets that can be stored in Explain Everything project, put them to the canvas and then play with them, because then the experience is just great. It will be problematic to make it in a way that the video streams from the web for those that join such project, let's say in collaborative session later on. So that's why we need to make sure that all assets that are on the canvas exist on the canvas. And that's why we insist of using files. Right, and
you still have to record the interaction with the file.
Yeah.
So it sounds a little bit complicated, but it really isn't given the nature of Explain Everything. Because in Explain Everything, you record a video, right? You press the big record button and then it starts recording the canvas, which means that if nothing happens on the canvas, it won't get recorded, right? So I think we can show this since we have some time. What you want to do is you want to take a video file, insert it to the canvas, and then press record and then play the video that you've inserted, and then export it to Google Drive.
I can demonstrate that real quick.
We can demonstrate that.
Hold on, I'll find a file that I can use. Hold on. I'll browse through the thousands of videos. Please continue. I'll do that in a second.
Just a simple one.
Oh, I have one that is just perfect.
I think we've lost the big.
Sorry, that's me. I was just hiding contents of my library, family photos.
Oh, can we start from a blank project, though?
We can. So
just copy this one. Yeah.
I'll copy this one. But do you still want to have it as a collaborative project?
No, I think we can start without collaboration. Yeah.
Right. So, and for sake of better resolution, I'll limit your view to just one iPad at a time. Okay. Like this. If you could confirm that you
Yep.
can see just one device. I'll just fix the view a little bit. Okay. So I'll start new project. I'll do this is very interesting. Hold on, I'll start fresh. Okay, so that's my project. And I'll just change the background color to, let's say, this one. And I can put a video on. Okay, so now I have a short clip.
Nice.
Right, that illustrates Pythagorean theorem. And I can use this clip on the canvas. Right, this is a video clip. I can use this clip on a canvas, but until I press record, and I'll do it now, and play it back, this video won't be visible in your screencast recording. I need to play it back, and that's what is what is difficult for our users sometimes. Why do you have to record on a canvas, playback of a video object?
Yeah.
Cooper, can you explain that?
Yes. Because it records what's happened on the canvas. If the video isn't playing on the canvas, it is not happening. So you need to interact with objects.
So bear with us for a second. This is like, this is crucial to understand because what Explain Everything does, it records and tries to replicate everything you would do on a canvas.
So the action of playing a video is an action that Explain Everything records.
And by this, when it plays back, it actually repeats after you. You played a video and you made it play 7 seconds, like in here. That's what Explain Everything does. It's kind of like a, repeating after you. So if you don't play a video and you assume it's a video, so it should be played, it is not, because it just mimics your moves on a canvas. Every action that you do on a canvas.
Right. So now if Bart presses export and then tries to export the video to YouTube, then
this will play. Right?
The YouTube to the Google Drive. Sorry. This will play. Yeah, this will be a video that will be played. But we can, in order to present the difference between using a web video in a browser, we can insert the video, the web browser with the video, and show you the comparison what happens.
Well, you'll have those, skipped frames.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I think we can show that just so that folks know how.
I'll go to YouTube again.
Right. And meanwhile, we have other questions. Are these video recordings editable? Can you put in a voiceover or markup? Yes, absolutely. Yeah, actually, 2 weeks ago, I think, we had a webinar on that exact scenario. I'll link it in the chat so you can access the VOD we had. Where is it?
And in the meantime, I'll do this recording. So this is a web video, right? And I'm recording a process of showing a video in the browser. So this is possible. I can even use the browser with this video playing, right? I can do that. It will be visible on the video what I'm doing with the browser. So I'll stop here. I'll go back. And as you'll see, what you play is not exactly what you notice in a browser, because what is captured now, it's even restricted, because sometimes content cannot be recorded. It's not our fault. Is that's the way it is built, that you cannot capture video from YouTube.
Yeah, the technology behind web browser experiences is developing so fast that it's almost unreal to actually keep up with this sort of recording that Explain Everything has. That's why, and YouTube also prevents you from getting that capturing the content too. Of course, there are ways around that, but we're not recommending that.
But don't worry, just add a file, video file to Canvas, and by this will open up an enormous number of possibilities. But because, for example, now I'm recording again, I can play this file, pause it, and rewind, right? And see what you'll see on the video. Exactly what, almost exactly what I did. Well, that's interesting.
Well,
but because I cannot rewind, I can pause in the time. But it will let me do it again. Let me do it again. So I'll play it. I'll pause it. I'll come back to the beginning of this recording. And this, there is some sort of mistake, I believe, here.
Yeah.
But in a nutshell, it should replicate exactly your steps, your actions you did with the video. Yeah. So this is the moment. Sometimes
we recorded the process, so it will be easy for our testing team to get.
Yeah, we got this. We got this.
The editing from file function, can it modify the original file and save it as a PDF? I don't think I understand the question. You cannot edit the contents of the file. You can only import them to explain everything and then work on them as a project.
So what you can actually think of doing is that you can add PDF to explain everything, modify it, and then export it back as a PDF. It's not going to be edited original file, but it's going to be a new PDF that resembles the old one and contains all the annotations you have.
Right.
It's possible. It's not the scenario that is the one that we're building the solution around, but it's doable.
Yeah, you don't edit the contents of the original file, you're just adding on top of that.
And export it as a new file that resembles the old one with those new elements.
Right.
At best, it's to think about explaining everything as a tool for not only annotating, but doing a live modification of the content. So for example, if you want to explain the document by annotating and recording your narration, your voiceover, that's the way to do it, right?
Yep.
PDF format does not allow you to do this, but with Explain Everything, you can share such clip explaining others what there is in document.
Yep, exactly. That was the primary scenario for Explain Everything. So a couple of last questions. Actually, the last one. Will there be a version of Explain Everything for the Surface Pro laptops, Windows version, as the browser version is slower than the native when I compare EE on an iPad versus Surface Pro?
That is true, but the word is yet.
Yet, yeah. So don't worry. The first step for us is to improve the performance of the web version. That's gonna come in soon. Well, it's almost done actually. So
and the gain will be enormous. So this is what we know already. It's going to be super fast.
Right. So you can expect better performance from the web version soon. Though the native desktop version are something we're looking at. Well, they are not going to be native versions, but it's gonna, we're not ready yet with them, but they are on our
radar.
On our radar. That's what I want to say. Yeah, exactly.
But if you'd like to participate, let's say in early access, kind of like situation with us where you have access to the alpha version of such solution, we're definitely happy to include you when you share an email with us, leaving your email address and interest in participation. Yes, we're happy to do that. What we want to essentially accomplish with Windows version is ability to work in offline mode, because this is something that mobile users have and web users don't. And this is something we're shooting for.
Yep. So thank you for coming. If you have any further questions, we'll be happy to answer them via support or via our emails. You can reach out to us to those two channels. So feel free to do so. We'll be happy to help. And thank you for joining in.
We hope to see you next time. Those sessions We'll put new sessions to the calendar. They will come frequently, so there'll be an opportunity to meet again.
Yep. So stay tuned, and thank you all for coming. See you soon.
Thank you. See you. Bye.